How you all doing? So yeah, we're talking about it. The thing that a lot of people thought when the Plains of Eidolon was announced, either because of the hype or because people saw potential in it. Many jumped the gun and declared RIP Anthem and RIP Destiny 2, a premature statement in my opinion. Comparing those games to Warframe is far from ideal, and that is the purpose of this video. To take an in-depth look at the fake war between Warframe, Anthem and Destiny 2. If that piqued your interest, stick around and welcome. Let us start with Anthem, and for that we need to ask ourselves, what is Anthem? To be honest, there's so little that we know about that game. 1. You fly around a jungle. 2. You shoot shit. 3. You ride these cool armored suits. 4. It's multiplayer, and that's it. That's all we know about Anthem. Well, that and the fact that the game features one of the worst weather systems ever. I mean, it's not even close. One minute you have blue skies and the next all hell breaks loose in a thunderstorm that you know is going to destroy your frame rate, but still, you'll want to dive right into it. That being said, how to compare a game we know so little about with anything? The premises of an engaging comparison are information and the existence of enough similarities and differences to allow that information to have multiple interpretations. And depending on our personal preference, or the way you analyze what is being compared, then arrive to a conclusion. We can't do that with Anthem. We don't have enough information about it. We don't know how similar it can be to Warframe or Destiny 2, but there's one thing we do know. The game is being published by the juggernaut EA, and they need a comeback after the critical failure of their flagship Mass Effect Andromeda. So we know there's a lot riding on Anthem, but we need to wait and see in order to start talking. As much as the prospect of a 3-game war excites me, the truth is there's no war going on with this one. Moving on. Destiny 2. Now this is a whole different mess. The Destiny franchise and Warframe have a history of similarities. Starting with the name many Destiny fans gave Warframe, the Free Destiny. Well, for starters, let's set the record straight and clarify that Destiny is the pay-to-play version of Warframe. And that is because Warframe started its open beta in March 2013, meanwhile Destiny was released a year and a half later, on September 2014. Now, pettiness aside, Warframe and Destiny have a lot in common. And as Destiny grew, it almost gave the impression that they were following a lot of Warframe's gameplay decisions, like the implementation of melee, right? Well, the thing is that both games are very similar, both in feel and mechanics, but at the same time cannot be more apart. From the perspective of a Warframe vet and a Destiny casual, I can see the differences and similarities that bound these games. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to realize that. Now, either of those things mean there's a war between these games, and for that, let me elaborate. Many people jumped the gun when Destiny 2 was announced for PC, saying that finally the Activision shooter was willing to go all out in a competition with the game whose shadow had stained Destiny's legacy, at least for some people. And then the Plains of Eidolon was announced, and people lost their mind. Many publicly said it was Warframe's response to Activision and EA, and that meant that Digital Extremes was willing to go on a full-blown race with the two largest AAA game developers of mankind history. But as they say, all of that is fake news. Now, we don't know how EA's Anthem plans to compete with Destiny 2. We don't know its monetization model or anything like that, so even speculation is out of the picture with Anthem. Now, in the case of Destiny 2 and Warframe, there's just no war. Never has been, never will be. That is based on the premise that the way these games entice players is completely different. Warframe is free to play, with the best monetization model out there, at least in my opinion, while Destiny's monetization model is unpopular to say the least. That makes Warframe accessible to all, while Destiny has a huge paywall in front of it. Even bigger if you consider its DLC model, and there is no indication to any change with Destiny 2's monetization model, because if there's one reality about it, is that Destiny is one of the most financially successful games of all time. You know, if it's puking money, don't fix it. Another thing that people don't realize is the fact that Warframe's developers have been talking about going open world for a very long time, and that has been an ambition of theirs. Warframe is a game that stays alive because it innovates, giving you something new to toy around with. The lifeblood of this game is and will be innovation. The need for something new is what keeps new players entering and preventing all angry farts like myself from leaving. And that has nothing to do with Destiny or Anthem. Also, Destiny and Warframe have been living together on consoles for a very long time. One as the most successful free-to-play game for any platform, and the other one as the most successful PlayStation game of all time. And yes, there's a bunch of similar things you can find in these games, but no war. Maybe Anthem and Destiny will be direct competitors one day, but Warframe? I don't think so. Its free-to-play model being its strongest advantage. You can always leave and you can always come back, and when you do, there'll always be something new. That has been Warframe's currency for the past few years, and remains that way. There's a lot happening in the near future. Many players are expected to return, and many others outside will be interested in sinking their hands into Warframe. Also, Destiny 2 is coming with its PR machine and addictive mechanics, so yes, a lot of changes are coming our way, but that doesn't mean war, or even competition. As much as we would like that, there is space for Warframe without having to compete thanks to its monetization model. If consoles are a reliable field, then Warframe and Destiny will share the PC market in a very similar way. Now Anthem. Anthem is the true mystery to this equation. How will a third wheel fit into this place? That remains to be seen. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it or you found it interesting, please consider leaving a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more Warframe related stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Take care now.